Good morning. So this morning, what we're working on are the tension and stress that we get in our necks, which have a habit of seeping into our shoulders and our upper backs. Tension doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes we don't even know we're tense until maybe you get a massage, or in my case, once I just turned my head to say hello to somebody and it didn't go back. Try walking around like that. And, I mean, there must have been tension there. It didn't happen for me turning my head because obviously we know the head's very flexible. So where I want to start this morning is, and you've got a couple of options here when it comes to using your blocks, but these are just so useful. And at home, I hope you have either firm cushions or blocks, very useful. The most comfortable of the two ways that I want you to start, and then I'm going to talk to you a bit, is to place your block horizontal on the medium position for your shoulder blades, and then placing your head on the block. Now that'll be the most comfortable of the options. The other one, if you don't even feel much in this position, is to take the first block and turn it horizontally or vertically to your body. It was horizontal before, now it's vertical. The bottom of the block should be about where your bra strap would be, or between your shoulder blades. And then the other block is still on that highest position. But when the block is vertical, so the same direction as your body, vertical, you're going to get more opening through the upper back, through the chest, and release in the shoulders. And the block for your head, as I said, is the same. So if you find one too easy or one too intense, then choose either placing the block horizontal or vertically between your shoulder blades. It's your choice. Okay, so while you're lying there, just letting some of the tension release from the neck, from the shoulders, or maybe you even feel like this is producing tension. It's just because our backs, as I said, can become so stiff we don't even know how hard they are. But if you've ever rubbed somebody's shoulders and said, wow, that's like a rock or a brick, and they'd go, ouch, ouch, with the lightest of touch, that person's pretty tight. And the thing about that is that when the muscles are that tight, it makes it hard for our nerves lose some conduction. And when the nerves can't conduct their energy, then we can feel numbness, tingling, and weakness in our arms and our shoulders. And, some of us have already probably experienced that. Now, having said that, when we exercise today, any stretch or exercise that causes pain rather than mild discomfort, please pay attention and back off. A lot of people would think that yoga is just a physical exercise. It's not. Of course, the physical is important, but what may be even more important is awareness, presence, mindfulness. And there's an interesting little exercise to practice mindfulness every day. When we go from indoor to outdoor, there's a huge difference. You feel air on your face. You feel a difference in temperature. You see different things. But mostly it's a feeling thing. And I'm just saying this because if you find that your mind is always racing and there's 49 things you're thinking about or obsessing about, these things also cause stress, a lot of stress, thinking about Christmas in July, what you're going to make for dinner or what you're going to wear to a party that's a month away. Depending on how much it's disrupting your day, these can all be very, very stressful. So mindfulness, becoming aware of the thoughts that may be adding to your stress, producing your stress. I often hear people say they're worried about. thus and so. Well, worry is tantamount to sitting in a rocking chair and rocking back and forth. You're doing something, but it's not getting you anywhere. And I mean, if it's soothing you, that's great. But worry, fear, and anxiety, what we focus on, we attract. So developing the ability to be present with what is going on, even if it's a conversation with somebody, just notice whether or not you're able to stay focused on what the person is saying. But also, if we're spending too much time, and this is another thought here, when we spend too much time in one position, sitting, often because of our computerized lifestyles now, our heads are pitched forward, our shoulders are rounded and hunched, the muscles in the front of your chest are collapsing, and it can compromise breathing and digestion. So there's a whole host of reasons why being mindful about your posture, being aware of your thoughts, and noticing, is this helping me? Is this harming me? Nonviolence, it's a niyama, and we can be violent both in our actions or harmful in our actions as well as our thoughts. And all day long, we're moving through our lives doing things that are either helping and serving, or they could be neutral. They're not really anything, but typically they're going to be one or the other. They're either going to help you and serve you or someone else, or they aren't. So as you lie on your blocks, just become aware of the feeling. It may be a little bit uncomfortable, but perhaps you could draw your awareness. We'll just spend another minute here on our blocks, drawing your awareness to the openness that you're feeling. So in every situation, we could always see something that we don't like, or we could recognize an opportunity to develop ourselves in ways that we otherwise would not. In fact, when I was speaking to Tech Guy before the class, there's lots of things in life that I don't like, that I get stressed out about, annoyed, upset, frustrated, and I let myself have that feeling, whatever it is. And because it's an emotion, after I've let myself have the feeling, then I can move on to finding a place of either acceptance or taking an action that will alleviate the stress, or just simply practice letting go. And with every breath we exhale, we have an opportunity to let go of something that is not serving us. Trust me, I know it sounds simple. I know many of you understand this already, but some of you their little minds, the ego says, oh, phooey, I doubt it. Well, if you've never worked with some of the practices that I'm suggesting, you'll never know. So take a moment now to take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And as carefully as you can, remove the blocks from underneath your head and your shoulders, and just continue now to lie flat on your backs. And spend a moment in the area that you were just releasing, opening, stretching, the upper back, maybe the front of your neck. And take a couple of 2 or 3 big breaths in, And deep breaths out, they don't have to be that yogic. Just take your deep breath in and deep breaths out. And one more, inhaling and exhale through your mouth. Turn your palms up in the open and receiving position. And now just allow your breath to settle, to calm, to ground. There is tremendous power both in receiving energy and letting go, in just the act of breathing in and knowing that you're breathing in, and breathing out and knowing that you're breathing out. You can breathe in a virtue or a wish, a desire, and you can exhale to let go of something that's bugging you, that's bothering you. You can think of it as breathing in, healing, rejuvenating energy. And as you slowly breathe out, send that breath to any place of tension or pain. So inhaling in place. As you exhale, gently turn your head to the left. Gently. Just your head and your neck move. Take a breath here. Exhale. Inhale to bring the head back to center. Exhale, gently allow the head to turn to the other side using your neck. So the 7 cervical vertebrae, inhaling here and exhale. Inhale back to center. Exhale one more time, over to the left. So your 7 cervical vertebrae, taking a breath here, are the most critical, sensitive vertebra. Inhaling, come back to center. And exhale over to the other side. All of the nerves that travel through your body from your brain go right through your neck. This is why it's important that we take care of our necks. We're also hydrating the discs when we move them. So bringing the head back to center, draw the knees now up into the center. Take your arms out to the side, shoulder height, inhaling in place. Exhale, drop both knees over to the left and gently turn your head to the right. Now become aware of the shoulder where your head is turned, the opposite shoulder to where your knees are. And just see if you can let it go. Breathe into whatever area of the body might be holding the most tension or tightness. They're really one and the same thing. If something's tight, there's tension. If there's tension, there's tightness. Doesn't matter how it got there. You're here to let it go. Inhale, bring the knees back up into the center. Exhale, lower them over to the other side and gently turn your head to the opposite side. Remember, our cervical vertebrae, of course, are holding up about anywhere from 10 to 15 pounds of weight for our heads. That's a stress in itself. And of course, as you know, inhale, bring the knees back to center. Exhale, drop the knees one more time over to the other side, turning your head to the opposite side. When our heads are not perfectly centered over our shoulders with the holes in our ears lined up with the center of our shoulders, this adds more weight and pressure to the cervical spine. It can shave off eventually bits of the vertebra. It can create a herniated disc. Inhaling, bring the knees back to center, and last time over to the other side. So if you're able, and most of us are, we need to create the situation. If we're looking at our electronic devices, we truly need to pay attention to the position of our heads if we're spending a lot of time, because 1 hour of yoga is great, okay? We're gonna release a lot, but if you're gonna go home and spend 5 hours in front of the computer, you might just be back to where you started, and I know that's not what you want. So practicing mindfulness, please don't sit for hours, get up, move around. A lot of the stretches we're doing today are very easy, and you can do them in a 10-minute short break. And inhale, bring the knees back to your center. And then drawing the knees into the chest with your hands underneath the backs of your knees. You're going to rock up to a seated position, or you're going to come over onto your side and come on up. We're going to thread the needle. So again, we've done this posture, but because we're focusing on our neck, shoulders, and backs, I want you to be reminded of what is useful, helpful, simple to do to undo some of the tension and tightness in our shoulders and back. So let's inhale, sweep the right arm up, reaching up and stretching up. Exhale, float that arm down, thread it underneath your other arm, release your shoulder. So the further you can take that right arm out to the side, the more you can easily place your shoulder and the side of your face onto the floor. And then if you like, tippy toe the fingers of the left hand to straighten that arm. And if you feel that you're too far away from your knees, you feel like you've got too much weight on the side of your head, just bring the upper part of your body back towards your knees and breathe here. Feel the stretch through the shoulder. So the shoulder, like the hip, is a ball and socket joint. It is hypermobile unless we're injured, or stiff and tight. So it can move in a lot of different directions. And remember last week we talked about how movement creates the synovial fluid, which comes out of the synovium, which is wrapped around the bones and the joint area. And then draw the left hand back, slowly press up, bring that right arm under your shoulder with your hand flat on the floor. Inhale, sweep the left arm up, reaching and stretching. Exhale, thread the needle, bringing this arm underneath as far as you can, twisting the upper back. Release your shoulder, the side of your face, and tippy toe the fingers of the other arm straight out in front. And once again, if you feel you need to move your upper body a little closer to your knees to take some of the weight out of the upper body and redistribute it into the lower half of your body, then do so. Make whatever adjustments you feel would be helpful in releasing tension and stress. Of course, my yoga teacher, if he said it once, and because I studied with him for about 20 years, I heard many things over and over, but it doesn't hurt because they're so ingrained. He said most disease, and disease is a lack of ease. So I don't think of disease as an illness as much as there's a lack of ease in some part of your body. He says all disease starts between your ears. So that's why being mindful of our thinking, and then draw that right arm back. And then spread your knees wide apart. Send your heels back, your hips back towards your heels if you're able to. If not, you're going to take puppy pose, which is keeping your knees underneath your hips, lowering your forehead to the floor. But if you're able to take modified balasana, if you need, create height for your forehead to rest
on your forearms, or perhaps you can place your forehead on the mat in either puppy or modified balasana,
child's pose. And just breathe into your side and back ribs, where 60% of the breathing takes place. And then come on up. Now we're going to do our cat-cow, but we're going to do it just slightly different. We're going to take our lower back out of the equation. And how we're going to do that, because we're focusing on middle upper back, is take your hips a little further back, okay? So instead of having your hips right over your knees, your hands will still be under your shoulders, but you're going to take your hips a little bit back of your knees, okay? Take your hips back of your knees. So we're still going to go through the same motions. You're going to round your back, arcing your back, bringing your chin towards your chest. Feel the stretch through the shoulders and the upper back. You're going to feel a little more in the upper back. And then on an inhale, you're hollowing out your lower back. And you're going to lift your head and lengthen through your neck. So your hips are back behind your knees instead of your hips being over your knees. And then let's reverse. Exhale. So the tailbone's going down, but the focus here is truly on the middle upper back and bringing your chest and chin towards one another. Inhale, hollow out your lower back. Lifting head, neck, stretching through the shoulders. So you can get more of a stretch through the upper back, the shoulders and the neck. And let's do this again. Exhaling. And last time, inhaling. So you're hollowing out the lower back, lifting up through the neck, the head. Feel that stretch. And come back to neutral. And now curl your toes under. And let's lift up and just walk the dog here. So one leg bent, one leg stretched. And here's where you get to relax your neck and let the weight of your head stretch out your cervical vertebra. And change. So one leg bent, one leg straight. Relax your neck. You can give it a little bit of a swing, a yes and a no. So yes is forwards and backwards, no is sideways. And one more time, stretching out, changing the leg, one leg bent, one straight. And last time, change. And then walk your hands back towards your feet and just let your upper body hang. So keep your knees bent. If you want, you can grab your elbows. So knees are bent. If you want more of a hamstring stretch because you feel like you need one, that's fine. But of course, we are focusing on the upper body here. All right.
And then really ground your feet into the mat. Root them into the mat. Let your arms hang like a rag doll. Let your head hang. Just leave all that out of the equation. Let it go for the ride. And then slowly, with your knees bent, roll up one vertebra at a time, keeping your chin tucked into your chest, letting your head be the last thing to come up. And then inhale the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale. This is still such an excellent stretch where you interlock the fingers behind your back and bring your shoulder blades together. You know, if you have a chair at home with kind of a rounded back and you are sitting there waiting for an email or something, you can always do this in a chair. Take your arms around the back or move yourself forward. And release, and then take your arms in front. Now we're going to pull the shoulder blades apart, the scapula, and interlock your fingers, palms facing forward. So stretching through the upper back. And then bring the arms overhead, and then rotate so that your knuckles are facing up, and stretch up. Stretch up. And then float your arms down, taking up lots of space. So release your arms and lower them. Bring your shoulders up to your ears and let them go. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Maybe I'm going to back off on the heat because I see people starting to take their clothes off. We can't have naked yoga. Okay. Just a little bit. Okay. Now, here's a little exercise we're going to work on the neck. So, you know that season of mistletoe's coming up, and there's some people who think they want to kiss you, and you're like, I don't think so. So here's what you do, guys, and you'll be working your front and back neck muscles at the same time. So stand up nice and tall in Tadasana. Pull your chin back and down. That'll make it hard for them unless they're a lot shorter than you and like standing on. So, okay, you're pulling your head back. Okay, release. So you feel you're using the muscles in the front of your neck as well as the back of your neck. Okay, so let's do this again. Just pull the head back. It's not very attractive, but that's even good too if you don't want them to kiss you. So the chin, head goes back, chin goes down, and release. And let's do that one more time. And they'll have the hint. And release. Wow. Okay, give that a little shake out. Now, okay, so we've got the levator scapula is a muscle that attaches the neck to the shoulder blades. Levator, scapula, that's your shoulder blade. So we're going to work that right now. So you're going to take one arm out to the side, and this arm, your left arm will be bent and your right arm is straight out to the side. So I'm doing the mirror image here. I want you to turn the right fingers so they point down, and you're really going to stretch here. So we're also working the wrists in this class as well. And I want you to look down at your right armpit while you're doing that. So look down at your right armpit. Now, your bent arm, which is your left arm, you're going to take that to the side of your head and just do some gentle pulling. And release. And now take the arm that was straight and bring it to, you can lower the other arm down, and then pull it, and again, pull it in the direction of your armpit. So this is working the levator scapula muscles, and release, and lower your arms down and give it a little shake out. Okay, so let's do the other side now. Switch up your arms. So now your left arm is bent and your right arm's out to the side. Hang on. Because I'm trying to do the mirror. So, okay. So now left arm is straight, right? And then you're pointing your fingers down.
And you should even feel this in the palm of your hand. And then look down at your armpit of the straight arm. Looking down at your armpit. And now, take the bent arm and just pull the head slightly to the side. And release. And you can lower that arm down. And then take the straight arm and bring it to the side of your head. And again, look down at your armpit. And breathe. And release. And bring your shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, roll them back. Inhale, up and back. Up and back. Okay, take your strap. We're not going to do any stretching with this. I just want you to make a motion behind your back. And this particular stretch is for, hang on here, the median nerve floss. No, the ulnar nerve. Okay, so the ulnar nerve is actually your funny bone nerve. But again, it radiates from your neck all the way down your arm. Haven't done it lately, my funny bone, and it's not that funny actually. So you're holding your strap up behind your head and you're gonna take the other hand and grab it. Now there's no stretching. I just want you to go up. I want you to pull down, pull up, down and up. So that's all you're doing is pulling up and down. We're looking at tech guy here, he's got it. So just up and down. Then we're going to change arms. Okay, release. Again, give the arms a shake out, and then let's do it with the arm on the other side. Okay, so we're not stretching, it's flossing, nerve flossing. So obviously this can be done with your partner's favorite tie that he'll be wearing at Christmas. Maybe he'll want to do it. Or belt. So you don't, there's all kinds of things we can use. But you can feel these are movements that we wouldn't normally ever do. So it's no wonder we get tightness. And release. Okay. Take a sip of water if you need. And let's move into half sun salutations, just to incorporate a lot of the stretches and movements that we've already made. So standing in Tadasana, just as a reminder, lift your toes off the floor. Your feet should be, outsides of feet are parallel to the outsides of your mat. Your ankles, your knees, and your hips are all in alignment. Your hips being your anterior, superior, iliac spine. That's those bones in the front of the hips. So you're aligned, lifting your toes off the floor. This starts to engage your thighs. So lift up on your kneecaps, lower your toes. Lift your sternum away from your pelvic floor. Let your chin float horizontal, parallel to the floor. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, push them back, and then pull your armpits down. So again, because we're used to our shoulders being up, when you pull them down, you should be feeling muscles, your pec muscles, and perhaps your trapezius muscles. These are large fan-like muscles that fan out starting from the bottom of the occipital lobe. They go out like a fan and they come in and enter at about your mid-back. So they're a large muscle. So this activates them, pulling your armpits down. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead, turn the palms out. Exhale, bend your knees, swan dive your torso onto your thighs, fingertips tented on the floor. On an inhale,
Lift your hips, let your head hang. Again, here's your chance. Let the weight of your head release the tension in your cervical vertebra. So relax your head. Move it around so you know that you're not holding it. Exhale, bend your knees, drop your hips a lot. Press your shoulders back. Lengthen your spine. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, reaching up. Exhale, float the arms down, taking up lots of space. Inhale. Turn the palms out, exhale, swan dive onto your thighs, fingertips tented on the floor just in front of and outside of your feet. On an inhale, please let the crown of your head float down as your sits bones and tailbones float up. Exhale. Drop your hips by bending your knees a lot. You should feel your entire torso on your thighs. Shoulders back, spine long. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, reaching up. Exhale, turn the palms out and float your arms down. Inhale. Turn the palms out, exhale. Fingertips tented. Inhale, crown of head floats down, tailbone floats up. Relax your neck, let your head go. Exhale, drop your hips. And inhale, sweep the arms up. Turn the palms out, float your arms down. Last time coming up. Inhale. Feel your big toe mount, baby toe mount, center front of your heel, grounded, rooted. Exhale. And inhale. Let your head hang. Once again, relax your neck, let your head hang. Bend your right leg. Place your right hand on your left instep. Inhale, sweep the left arm up, reaching up, stretching up, maybe even looking up. Exhale, float it down. Bend your left knee, straighten your right leg, place your left hand on right instep. Inhale, sweep the right arm up, reaching up and stretching up. Exhale, float that arm down. Now, bend your knees, let yourself be in that ragdoll shape and slowly roll up, one vertebra at a time. Chin stays tucked into the chest until you are all the way up, and then bring your head up. All righty. So we're going to take a prayer position with our hands, and this is our median nerve. Now, the median nerve is one of the longest nerves in the arm, so it's all the way from the neck right down to the fingers. So you're bringing your hands together, and what I want you to try to do now is press your hands down and lift your elbows up. Okay, so elbows come up, hands go down. Inhale, in place. Exhale, let's turn to the left. Turn to the left. So your elbows are up as much as possible. Exhale, come back to center. So your hands are pressing down, your elbows are going up. Inhale in the center. Exhale, turn to the other side. Back to the center, release your arms and give your wrists a good shake out. So you can either make circles or just ring them. Yeah. Even this feels good, doesn't it? I mean, we don't even think about it. Do we ever appreciate our hands, how much they do all day? They don't stop. They go like this. They go like this.
They go like this. Okay, so placing your hands together. I think I'm starting to think about all of this because then lift your elbows up and press your hands down. I just want to do this one more time. So elbows up as much as you can and hands down. I start the one of a kind a week tomorrow. And I like to say I'm working with the fashion police. They give me the once over before they say hello. You know what? Thank God for everything I've done at this point and getting older. Okay, inhale in place, exhale. You know what people do and say? It's our choice how we're going to interpret it, right? We really have to get smarter, and back to center. And just, and once you know what the drill is, okay, that's what it is. All right, and inhaling in place, exhale as you turn. But I love the one of a kind. It did take a big hit during the pandemic, of course, and back to the center and release your hands. But it's pretty amazing to see what some people are able to do with these hands and their brains and just being creative. Okay, we're gonna do a triangle pose. Again, now, we don't just stretch, we strengthen in this class. So you may wanna have your blocks handy at the front of your mat on whatever height, because you've got your 3 different heights. So we're gonna move from Trikonasana into Ardha Chandrasana, crescent moon. So I'm only saying, and so step your feet wide, wide, wide apart. And then I'll try to do the mirror here. Turn your right foot 90 degrees forward and your left foot about 60 degrees. And you do want your front heel to create a straight line through the arch of your back foot. This is going to be important. And you need to spread your feet fairly wide apart or it's just impossible to pull off a Trikonasana. So 3 to 4 feet would be great. Now, engage your thighs because you're not going to bend your front leg. You're not even going to bend your back leg at this point. They're going to remain straight. Inhale, sweep the arms up to shoulder height. So just the act of holding your arms out here is working your shoulders, not something that we would do all day long, even at all. And then reach forward until you can't. Reach forward over that right foot. And then just hinge. Be organic about this. Don't worry about how far down you go. Let your top arm reach up to the ceiling. And if you were between 2 panes of glass, you would have both shoulders on that back pane of glass. So that's the idea in Trikonasana. It works the muscles of the neck, the shoulders, the upper back. Now, lower the top arm onto your back hip and bend your front knee 90 degrees. Okay, because it's a balanced pose, I want you to take your time. You may wish, as I said, to have a block. You can put 2. They would be most steady if they're in that position. Or maybe you don't need one, we'll find out, but you put your blocks there in case you do. Now, transfer your weight onto your front bent leg and then lift your back leg off the floor and straighten your front leg and then reach your top arm up. Ardha Chandrasana, focus your gaze on the floor. Push your top shoulder back. When you come out of this, step back and come back into triangle pose, Trikonasana. Pressing your top shoulder back, both legs are straight. Inhale, come on all the way up. Lower your arms and give your legs a good shake out. Okay, so step your legs once again, wide apart. This time you're turning your left foot 90 degrees forward, your back foot. In fact, lift up onto the ball of your back foot and take that heel back. So that'll widen your stance a little bit. Have a look that the heel of your front foot is creating a straight line through the arch of your back foot. This is really important, guys, for alignment. Okay, inhale, sweep the arms up to shoulder height. Lower your shoulders and lengthen your neck. Engage your thighs by pulling up on your kneecaps. Now reach forward, not down so much, but reach forward. When you can't reach any further forward, organically let your front arm fall inside of your front leg. Don't worry about reaching down. Reach up. Reach for the stars. Again, or a grilled cheese sandwich. You're the cheese in between those slices of bread, and you want the cheese touching all the surfaces of that bread, right? So you're reaching up, stretching up, lifting up, energy in those fingertips. Now lower your back arm onto your back leg and turn your head to look down at your front left foot. Bend that knee. And then start to transfer your weight onto your front leg, walking your back foot forward and releasing your fingertips either onto a block or the floor. Slowly take your time, focus your gaze on the floor, lift your back leg up, and then lift your back arm up. And if you feel you want to take a chance and lift your bottom arm off the floor, you can do so, so you're balancing just on your leg. Not necessary. And then bend your front leg, step the back leg back, come back into Trikonasana, reaching up, stretching up, and looking up. Pressing your top shoulder back. Feel the muscles of your upper back, shoulder working. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, lower your arms. Great, nobody fell down. Okay, bring your legs together and come on down onto your mat. Keep your blocks handy. We're going to do a twist position. You know, even walking hydrates your spine. I mean, the littlest things that we do can make such a big difference, and because we're still blessed or not, you know, what's the farmer's story? Fortunate or not, I don't know. Let's just wait and see, because now I'm starting to get a little nervous that we're having such this beautiful long fall, but I'm loving it, of course. Okay, so pull the flesh out from underneath your sits bones, sitting up nice and tall and straight, which is the way you sit all day, don't you? Good boys and girls. Okay, and now take your left foot and place it right outside of your right knee. Interlock your fingers 2 inches below your knee. Pull your torso towards that bent knee and flex the foot of the straight leg. Place your left hand behind you to prop yourself up. Feel your sits bones, both of them grounded into the earth. Inhale, sweep the left arm up, reaching up, stretching up. Exhale, bring the elbow, if it's available, outside of your knee. If it's not accessible, then wrap the inner part of the elbow around the knee. So inhale, lift to lengthen. Exhale, twist and turn. So bringing mobility, release of tension through the neck area, the upper back, and the shoulders. And of course, there are at least 20 more significant benefits of the twist positions, but for now, we're focusing on the neck, the shoulders, the upper back, the arms. And one more breath in. Exhale, counter twist slowly to the other side. Exhale, come back to the center. Unfold the leg, bang out the backs of the knees, sitting up nice and tall. And now bring your other foot flat on the floor, outside of the knee. Flex the foot of the straight leg, interlock your fingers 2 inches below, and draw your torso towards your bent thighs. And really feel those sits bones grounding into the earth. Bring your right arm behind you to prop yourself up. Inhale, left arm up, reaching up, stretching up. You may find one side different from the other. This is normal. And bring your elbow either outside of your knee or wrap it around your knee. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist. And we know from previous classes, there's very little movement in the lower part of your spine. So most of the twisting is taking place at the top of your spine. This hydrates your intervertebral discs. So not the bones, the discs. Keeping them plump and protecting the vertebra, shock absorption. One more breath in. Exhale, slowly counter twist to the other side. And come back to the center. Straighten the bent leg, bang the knees out. Now, options here. We are going to, some of us, and maybe not all of us, take Sarvangasana, shoulder stand. It is the queen posture of yoga. However, if some of you are not feeling that you want to do this today, what's really important, and I wrote it in the note, legs up the wall. Honestly, guys, I don't know what I was doing one day, but I knew I was going to go out later that night. And I did maybe 10 minutes or less. And I just put my legs up against the couch. So I think you know what it is, but just in case, because we are coming into the season where a lot might be expected of us. And this is where, so I'm just showing you quickly. You're going to bring your butt as close to the wall as possible. You're going to put a nice cushion under your rear ends. And right now, if you're not feeling like doing Sarvangasana shoulder stand, just elevate your butt. And when you're in this position, if you elevate your hands as well, this is great relief. It is an extremely relaxing, but more importantly, nourishing is the word. It nourishes your nervous system. It just seems to dump a lot of stuff out of your entire being. You know, if you go online and you look up the words that I showed you, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of hits and opportunities for you to learn about the benefits of this restorative yoga posture. So, having said all that, if doing shoulder stands not your thing, I would still ask you to elevate, and you can do this with either 2 blocks and just get your legs up in the air. You can do it with 1 block if this is all you feel. Tucking your chin in towards your chest so it's a nice stretch for the back of your neck. Your palms are facing up in the open and receiving position, and your legs are up in the air. Many, many benefits for the veins in the legs. Even if you're sitting all day, it's also not good for your circulation. Now, if you want to try shoulder stand, we'll start in Ardha, so half shoulder stand, so your knees are bent. Your arms will be beside your body with your palms facing down. You're going to lift your hips up and just going to hang out here in half shoulder stand.
half Ardha Chaturvasana. So your legs are just kind of hanging over the back of your body and you're supporting your hips. Now you can bring your knees towards your forehead, your heels towards your bum. If you're going to try to get up into the fuller expression. So heels are close to bum, knees, and you can see it's a major stretch for your upper back as well as your neck. And then inhale and straighten your legs straight up. Your feet don't need to touch. They don't need to be pointed or flexed or anything. And just holding here in the queen position of yoga. 75% of the blood flow never gets above the heart unless we invert, which if you are, everything above the heart, your endocrine glands, your brain, facial tissues, eyes, all getting this extra nourishment from more blood flow. Let's lower the left leg down over behind the head. It may or may not touch the floor. That's not the goal. Inhale that leg up and lower the right leg down over behind your head. And if you're just got your blocks under your behind, just lower a leg or bend it. And then we're going to bend both legs and bring either to either side of your head. And back up. And back down. And back up. And if you can hold another 10 seconds. And then we'll slowly roll out of this. And lower the legs down over behind the head. Release your hands to the floor. And with as much control as you can, or releasing your blocks from underneath your sacrum, use control to lower your body back onto your mats. And then lift your shoulder blades up underneath your heart. Draw both knees up in towards your chest. Tuck your chin in. And with one hand on each knee, just do a little gentle rocking from side to side. Or you could make gentle circular motions just to relax. Obviously, the back, the core, the trunk of the body is majorly engaged when we practice shoulder stand. It is known as the queen posture, with headstand being the king, for the myriad of benefits. And then when you're ready, send your legs straight down in front of you. Bring your heels together, let your feet splay out. Take your arms out to the side. Again, you may wish to tuck your shoulder blades under. Turn your palms up in the open and receiving position. And just allow your breathing to slowly calm your entire system. Eyes are closed. Separate the biting surfaces of the teeth. Relax the jaw. Let's do a quick scan of your body, especially the lower back, the shoulders, and the neck. And ask it all to let go, to relax.
An idea is to cultivate contentment with what we have. We really don't need much. When we know this, our mind can settle down. And we can begin to transform what appears to be a negative into what is more positive. The best things in life are not things. By simply being aware and present, we have the opportunity of delighting in what we have, in feeling gratitude, and perhaps generosity. There are many ways that we can nourish our bodies, our minds, and our souls. Choose the techniques and the ways that you can truly activate on a daily basis. Not just once a week for yoga, but take your practice, take your wisdom, your tools, your love of life into each and every day. When we show ourselves love and respect, we're better able to show love and respect to others. Inhale the life force, long, full, and deep, and deep. Exhaling. Inhaling the life force once again, long, full, and deep, and deep. Exhaling. Inhale, stretch your arms over behind your heads, reaching and stretching. Point feet far, flex and point, and drop your arms down by their sides. Take your time to roll over onto your side with your knees bent to protect your lower back, and use your bottom arm as a pillow. And spend as long as you like here before using your top arm to press yourself back up into a seated position. And again, I would invite you to chant Om, followed by Shanti 3 times. Shanti means peace in Sanskrit. Inhaling together. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste.